A recent segment of Live with Kelly and Mark had viewers talking. During the segment, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos had Italian-American chef Giada De Laurentiis visit them on the show. Following traditions for cooking segments, Giada prepared one of her favorite meals for Kelly and Mark. De Laurentiis prepared a dish affectionately known as burnt spaghetti, also named pasta assassina. Ripa and Consuelos looked on while making commentary on the dish. Kelly seemed to love the dish. However, fans were not impressed by Giada De Laurentiis' chosen dish. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos host controversial cooking segment. Recently, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos were joined by celebrity chef Giada De Laurentiis on Live with Kelly and Mark. Kelly and Mark looked on as Giada shared a favorite recipe with the pair. She prepared pasta assassina for them. Ripa and Consuelos shared their thoughts as De Laurentiis prepared the meal. Kelly shared that she loved that there was no boiling involved when cooking the pasta. She joked, "This seems like something I could make." Chef Giada agreed with her, saying, "It's burnt pasta, so you can't go wrong." When the recipe was about half prepared, De Laurentiis showed Kelly and Mark the black bits on the bottom of the pan that are created from cooking the pasta. This is where things began to go wrong for fans. Giada De Laurentiis was preparing burnt spaghetti for Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos when she reached her hand into the pan to taste her dish. She tells Kelly, "So, you see what I mean when I say you can't go wrong." Kelly, "This is totally doable, I promise." Kelly responds, "No, I'm telling you. You had me at burnt." The cooking segment ended with Kelly telling viewers about Giada's upcoming cookbook, Super Italian. Ripa encouraged her fans to pick up a copy of the book to enjoy more Italian favorites from the chef. Kelly and Mark finally get to try De Laurentiis' pasta assassina. Mark admits that he is starving. The segment video was shared on Instagram, and fans went crazy in the comments section. Fans are disgusted by Giada De Laurentiis' recipe. Fans of Live with Kelly and Mark were quick to take to the comments to criticize the cooking segment with celebrity chef Giada De Laurentiis. The cooking segment was posted to Instagram with the caption, @Giada De Laurentiis, pasta assassina. The comments on the post blew up. Some fans were excited to see the recipe and commented on how delicious the food looked. However, some fans were grossed out by the burnt spaghetti recipe and Giada's cooking techniques during the show. Many fans were upset with the chef reaching her hand into the pan to taste the food herself. One fan said, "Why does she have to put her hands in the food all the time? That's so unsanitary." This fan wasn't the only one to call out De Laurentiis for unsavory cooking etiquette. Others said fans were not pleased with Chef Giada De Laurentiis and her pasta assassina recipe on Live with Kelly and Mark. They filled the comments section with harsh comments, thumbs down, and nauseated/vomiting emojis to express their displeasure. In addition, fans were disturbed by the recipe and the chef sticking her hands in the pan. Others were also concerned that the problem was that Giada needed more time to prepare a proper meal. What do you think of De Laurentiis' recipe? Let us know in the comments. It's not uncommon for Live with Kelly and Mark to serve up surprising moments of unscripted hilarity, quirky stories, and an occasional splash of oversharing. But nothing could prepare fans for the stomach-churning roller coaster that aired during Monday morning's segment, which has since been dubbed by the internet as the Great Gross Out of Morning TV. It all started innocently enough. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, dressed in their usual polished casual, kicked off the show chatting about their weekend. Everything seemed normal. Mark talked about working out, Kelly gushed over reorganizing her closet, and producers flashed clips of the duo at a local charity gala. But the mood took a swift turn south when the couple launched into what was supposed to be a fun food challenge segment involving vintage health remedies. Only no one, least of all the audience, was prepared for just how vintage it would be. "I think we're about to change the world," Kelly said with her signature enthusiasm, gesturing toward a table filled with small mason jars, rubber gloves, and what appeared to be pickled items floating in murky liquid. Today, we're diving into ancient home cures, the kind our grandparents swore by. Mark grimaced playfully. Why do I feel like this is going to end with me crying into a jar of fermented onions? He wasn't wrong. The segment was pitched as a light-hearted nod to nostalgic wellness trends. The couple was set to sample age-old remedies like cod liver oil, mustard plasters, and switchel, a drink made from apple cider vinegar, ginger, molasses, and water. But when a bowl labeled fermented garlic honey was brought out, a collective groan swept through the studio audience. Kelly, ever the fearless host, grabbed a spoon and dipped it straight into the amber-colored sludge. "Oh wow, that's intense," she said, eyes watering immediately. "It tastes like garlic had a baby with a cough drop and then left it in the sun." Mark sniffed his spoon and recoiled. "This smells like regret." But it was the next item that really broke viewers. From behind the table, a staff member wheeled out what looked like a vintage porcelain basin with a lace doily. Kelly lifted the cloth and dramatically revealed the century-old tonic known as beef tea. For the unfamiliar and fortunate, beef tea is essentially boiled beef juice, served warm and salted, once believed to cure everything from fatigue to fainting spells. The moment Kelly brought the spoon to her lips, audience members visibly winced. She took a sip, winced harder, and clutched her throat. "Oh, that's cow tears?" she crowed, wiping her mouth. "It's like someone tried to make soup, but gave up halfway through." Mark, ever the sport, followed with his own taste. He immediately gagged. "It's meat water. I've never regretted being born more." At this point, viewers at home began chiming in, and not in a good way. Within minutes, social media lit up with reactions ranging from shocked to horrified. One X, formerly Twitter, user posted, "I was eating breakfast during the beef tea part. I'll never be the same. Hashtag live with Kelly and Mark, hashtag why." Another added, "Kelly drinking fermented garlic on live TV has officially cured me of my morning appetite." Instagram comments flooded in beneath the show's official clip with messages like, "This belongs in a Fear Factor episode, not morning TV. Had to mute and look away. Felt like I could smell it through the screen." Back in the studio, the chaos continued. The final straw came in the form of something called Vinegar foot soak, which producers encouraged Mark to try live. As he slipped off his sock and dunked his foot into the shallow basin, Kelly burst into laughter and promptly recoiled as the sharp scent of vinegar and baking soda filled the air. "It's like a salt and vinegar chip. If the chip had toes," she joked, wafting the scent away from her face. The audience, torn between fascination and horror, let out groans, applause, and a few audible "oh no's." One brave camera operator reportedly had to turn away while still filming, catching the side of the set as the vinegar fumes wafted toward him. By the end of the segment, Mark was sitting with one sock on, one sock off, holding a tissue to his nose and blinking rapidly, while Kelly dabbed at her watering eyes and laughed through gags. "We promise we'll go back to regular smoothies tomorrow," she said with a sheepish grin. "Maybe just a segment on toast or something gentle." The backlash online, while humorous, was relentless. Viewers flooded the show's comment sections with begging pleas for more boundaries next time. One trending TikTok stitched the garlic moment with a dramatic soap opera score and the caption, "The moment my trust in daytime TV was destroyed." Another meme showed Kelly mid-sip of beef tea next to a screen cap of Gordon Ramsay shouting, "It's raw." But not all the reaction was negative. Some fans admired the host's bravery. "I would never put fermented garlic in my mouth on national television," one viewer tweeted. "But I respect Kelly's chaotic commitment to the bit." By Tuesday morning, even rival morning shows were joking about the ordeal. Good Morning America opened with Robin Roberts cheekily holding up a can of ginger ale and saying, "No garlic honey here, folks." Despite the wave of groans and turned-off televisions, Live with Kelly and Mark had achieved something priceless: viral buzz. And if there's one thing the duo has mastered over the years, it's taking a cringe-worthy moment and turning it into comedy gold. In a post-show debrief, Mark joked on his Instagram story, "Still recovering. I may never look at soup the same way again. Hashtag pray for my taste buds." Meanwhile, Kelly, undeterred, posted a boomerang of her clinking spoons with Mark, captioned, "Cheers to beef tea and bad decisions." Whether fans found it revolting or riveting, one thing's for sure. It was a Monday morning segment no one will forget. And next week, rumor has it they're sampling medieval beauty treatments. Someone, please hide the snail slime.